The Government of Canada Media Room Twitter account tweeted a spending announcement about an anti-racism initiative in British Columbia. Now, this might be in breach of federal elections laws. Today, I'll show you the tweet, the laws, and what I think is really going on here. There's a Twitter account called the Government of Canada Newsroom. It's an official government Twitter account, and it tweets spending announcements by the federal government. So normally this Twitter account it's working nonstop because there have been just so many Liberal spending announcements in the lead up to this federal election. But there are not supposed to be any announcements of spending during the election period. That's the law. Let me show you here. As a general rule, government or departmental announcements are curtailed during an election, except, of course, under certain extenuating circumstances like issues around public safety, i.e., we're suddenly in a war, or health issues like suddenly we're involved in a communicable disease outbreak. Think SARS, people. So we really shouldn't be seeing anything coming out of the Government of Canada Newsroom Twitter account, since we are deep in the middle of one of the absolutely most ridiculous elections I've ever witnessed. However, the Government of Canada Newsroom sent this tweet out on September 19th. The Government of Canada announces more than $3.2 million of funding for multiculturalism and anti-racism initiatives and community events celebrating diversity and inclusion across British Columbia. Well, that is an interesting spending announcement and interesting spending topic. Interestingly timed, wouldn't you say? Especially since we just discovered some jerk was going around British Columbia dressed in blackface. Now, I went back and I double-checked, and this spending announcement was actually first announced just under the wire for the election call on September 6th, 2019. That's when this funding was first announced. But the Government of Canada account was tweeting about this on September 19th, 13 full days later. Once the tweet was noticed by online politics watchers, it was immediately deleted. Now, are the Liberals breaking spending laws by tweeting about this announcement nearly 2 full weeks after the spending came through? Quite possibly. And frankly, it wouldn't surprise me, and probably not you either, because these Liberals love to make and then break laws. But I think there's a funnier explanation for all of it. I think this is less about the Liberals playing fast and loose with elections laws, and more about some social media slave on the other end of a boring Twitter account having a little fun at the Liberals' expense. I mean, come on. British Columbia is where the first photo of Justin Trudeau dressed in that very first blackface was taken. I think this tweet about anti-racism funding in British Columbia was sent by some fun-loving, faceless, rebellious bureaucrat to embarrass the Liberals. And I can certainly appreciate that. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Justin Trudeau's affinity for blackface performance has irreparably damaged Canada's reputation. He's made us an international laughingstock. And that's why he needs to step down. To sign our petition, go to TrudeauMustResign.com.